how goes. I got a fun mod today. Look at this. Just make sure my sound is working. Let's see here.
I am Prince and Emperor.
Looks like it is. Hello. Been a while. Finally back from a 1 week hiatus. And I'm here to show off a crazy mod. As you can see right here. All enemies will have a 500 melee defense. And whether or not that will be impossible to win or not, shall be seen. DH, hello, welcome. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how this goes. Should be a fun one. Setup's a little different, by the way. For me, I'm all green screen now. It's great. I think it's good because it takes up less space. Because usually if I'm in multiplayer or single player, I block either like the campaign map or the multiplayer stuff. But alright, here's the challenge. So look at this. Marauders of Tzeentch. 500 melee defense. Kind of insane. Blue Horrors, 500 melee defense. Myself, just a bunch of normal dudes. So the question is whether or not this is even remotely winnable. I think early game, if I can switch to horsemen as fast as possible, I might have a chance. Marauder horsemen, they do have range attacks. But yeah, obviously playing as Khorne, it is meant to make this as difficult as we can do. All right, yeah, I'll just save my money. Let's just see if this first battle is impossible. Oh boy. Hey, what's up, Autumn Chan? Hello. I gotta get back into the swing of things. Crushing defeat. So the game the auto resolve does take into account melee defense. Surely Chariot still work. Impact hits? I don't know. This will be a really good test of how impact damage works. Let's see, is this overlaid over me? Oh, I'm in front of the text. Hell yeah, that's kind of what I want. Yo, that's sick. This is a clean design, actually. Look at this, compact. Let's see, where are my alerts at? Over there, perfect. All right. Let's just see. So, as with most games, especially the Souls games, gravity is a good solution to dealing with the indestructible folks. So if I knock them down a hill, maybe it works. Bloody Onslaught and all melee defense debuffs, cycle charging, and attacking from behind will have no effect on these guys. Difficulty modifier gives them even more melee defense. It is impossible to get to a point where I have higher than the lowest chance to hit, which I believe is 10%. Milk bag for the cornflakes. Love it. How's everything, by the way? Obviously, we are at the new location now, so audio, everything should be working. Trying to win total war with fall damage. Precisely. You got a green screen? No, it's AI. Filthy AI. No, it's like NVIDIA graphics cards, I learned, have a built-in green screen function for your thing. Yo, you want to see something cool, guys? If I lean far enough left. There he is! There he is! And then he disappears. He's like my familiar. Good old Jimmy. Hiding in the darkness. But yeah, no green screen. Though the wall behind me is green. It's nice. I might actually use that to do a proper green screening later. But alright, first things first. Can I do damage to these Marauders of Tzeentch? Commander Intisty reporting live from the battlefield. Yeah, man. It's hype. Also, they actually can land a hit. Now, 10% chance to land a hit is actually not the worst. Unless it's friendly fire, but I think they are landing hits. The reason being, most units would have like a 35% chance to hit anyways. So really, you can kind of treat the modifier as like ideal 66% less damage in melee, which is not the end of the world. It's not the greatest thing ever, but jeez. Where's the damage at? All right. Maybe we get a sick charge in here. Oh, impact hits do work. Okay, all right. The blood crushers can still crush it. Very good. Yeah, I just need to farm impact hits then. So this is gonna be, so I can use mobility and cavalry and such. That's good to know. Dude, these marauders are actually indestructible though. They are not dying, as you can see. Everybody has the stupid amount of melee defense. So the chunkiest marauders the world has ever seen. So basically, the way to make this work is hammer and anvil strats, right? It actually doesn't benefit me to stay in combat ever, because yeah, with my mobility anyways, because the charge bonus doesn't do anything. The actual attack animations don't do anything. I have to get the sick impact hits. So well, that's what we're gonna be going for. Go, my blood crushers, go. Absolutely pitiful amounts of damage. You camera setup? You betcha. I think this is nice, kind of clean. This is similar to where Grubby positions himself, but it doesn't block the magic over here. You can see it's actually quite wide. Look at that, I can raise my hands. Woo! It's kind of weird, honestly, but we'll experiment for a bit. Dude, I actually can't kill these guys, man. I just can't kill them. Yeah, we're gonna need some big shenanigans. Now, I don't have to win this battle. I can always retreat. Not staying in combat as Khorne, that's a challenge. I don't call this the hardest for nothing. What's the challenge? Right beside me. All enemies have 500 melee defense. I've been working on these Furies for the past 4 minutes. As you can see, they do not care very much about anything. I think cavalry is going to be a big old pain in the butt. I don't know how we're supposed to kill cavalry here. Can I lower their melee defense? Hell yeah, 532. We'll get him. This is probably one of the hardest challenges, by the way. Get them, blood beasts. Knock them down the cliff. I'm telling you, gravity is the way. So it's all about the cycle charging. See? Oh boy. Melee looking pretty useless. Yeah, it's pretty rough. Who do you think is better, Skulltaker or Arbal? Arbal because you can recruit Marauder Horsemen. I think Marauder Horsemen are kind of a must-have. Hey, Mr. Keen, thank you very much for the 9 months. That alert is working, right? Should be. Thank you. 9-month end. Yeah, yo, the 1 week away was long, man. It was long. Moving process took some time. Okay, so obviously this battle's impossible because this guy actually will not take hits. At like a 10% chance to hit, it's just not gonna work. So I should probably like retreat with the blood crushers to try and preserve them. See, the motorbike is doing okay. We managed to take half HP off the Marauders and Furies. Glorious. Any chance of playing this not as Khorne? I think we can beat it as Khorne. Hey, Aqualisk. Thank you very much for the prime sub. Aqualisk like Ultralisk? Or something else? When do you get Skull Tank Cannons? Way too far from now. This starting battle army is gonna kill me before we can get that going. All right, I need to X4 through this battle. I think I actually can't do much more. I might need to just I might just need to chill in my settlement and have the towers kill them. Oh boy. Should just put the camera display in the center of the screen and magnify it. Please no, I don't need more zoom ins on me. I'm still digging around my boxes for my razor blade. I got the stubble. Very rough. Seems like the perfect challenge for entire army is reforged after a lost battle. Yeah, you know, Skulltaker could eventually... Wow, they died anyways. Skulltaker could eventually get to the point where he has indestructible units. Like, he might actually start being able to win in melee, such as the strength of late game. But yeah, when they take, like, when you deal 70% less damage than usual, times are rough. So I need to convert this building into something that can get ranged. Marauder horsemen are definitely the best. Chariots are probably okay. But this guy's on a horse now, which is actually really bad. Thankfully, though, the settlement is my safety spot. The question is, though, because the AI has so much auto-resolve power, they might be tempted into just killing me at the very beginning. The Skull Throne. Is there anything that is useful here? 2 additional units not useful. Colonize a ruin. Post-battle loot. Yeah, all this is kind of useless. This is the only... No, I can spend skulls elsewhere, right? Summon a small hostile army. Target army belonging to you. Oh, I see. Okay, well, let's see if they just kill me from the get-go. Based on Hydralisk. Ooh, so close, so close. Oh, man. Yeah, this is hype, though. Look at this. It's not showing my chair, though, which is kind of weird. There it is. It's been summoned from the beyond, and it's gone. Yeah, it's kind of janky. I might try, like, a proper green screen setup later. But this is kind of good enough. You can finally see the map. Oh, my goodness. If you played a faction that does not rely on melee, yeah, but that would be too easy, right? Most melee is not even good on legendary anyways. Most meta builds will just ignore melee as a damage source, because your melee units, they just don't trade cost effectively enough on legendary. You're in the new place now. I am. This is the new place, and we got Jimmy. Yeah, there he is. Oh, that's so cool, actually. I love that weird auto green screen jankiness, actually making it kind of cool. Okay, so this guy's gonna kill me, isn't he? Now, they are taking attrition, so it's either that or they have to fight the battle here. Both are kind of rough for them, right? What do I want? Monsters. Where the horsemen at? Ammunition for horsemen. Thank goodness. Thank goodness they have something of a buff. You gonna miss the sound of sirens? No, fun fact, we do still have sirens here. Get ready. Your old sketchy neighborhood. Yeah, nah, don't worry. Accidents. I just really love moving into places with with accidents abound. You only unlock the useful blood prone abilities after spending skulls. I guess I might as well get the process going. Sure. Why not? Okay, so technically they can just trick me out forever. I might need to use the randomizer mod so that we don't have the starting army just kill me, but we'll see. We'll see. I might also need to restart this one. This is kind of this is gonna be kind of difficult. Okay, here we go. Close defeat. Interesting. So I think if I camp my home point and just let the towers do the work, we'll be fine. My shielded warriors of Khorne ain't gonna die. Good to see. Good to know some things never change. Alrighty. Holy green screen, nice. You know, I actually had access to this green screen feature before. I was just a fool. Oh crap, okay, wait. So I actually do need to make use of these walls here. Yeah. Because the shooting is actually pretty useful, right? And then I'll just retreat. I'll just retreat after the fact. It seems okay. So where is the best defensive place? So we look here. This little lobby area is pretty hype, and we can put a tower here. Unfortunately, I think that's one of the only tower locations that's useful, but I guess I'll settle for that. Then hopefully my towers can do enough damage. This run might actually just end right here. We'll see. And here they come. Look at that. Real damage. Your girlfriend said Skarbrand is ugly? How dare she? How dare she? Absolutely. You gotta break up, and you gotta, I don't know, what do, is there like, it's not like a war path, right? What do Khorne warriors do? I don't know what they do. I guess they fight. Do they do anything else? I can't think of a thing. Ooh, nice. I can block them up here. Actually, I can fight them with the dogs to keep them in the kill zone a bit longer. Report her to the nearest witch hunter. There you go. Better answer. Let's see. I think I just dipped from this area. I feel like, you know, if you report to the witch hunter, though, you're kind of self-reporting. I feel like, given that you are a Khorne enjoyer, but I think they'd be happy to arrest both. Jeez, those Furies, man. Okay, it's fine. I will be able to get a cannon tower soon. I'll be able to get the upgraded cannon tower very soon. And then I just need to buy some time. I also got to figure out how we're going to kill these Furies. I guess if I kill everything on the ground, they'll disintegrate. This is going to be a bit sketchy. But the kill zone is being assembled. And there it is. So that's going to be the key to victory here. So you can see the Furies kind of messing me up, but we can cycle charge with the Blood Beast. Khorne enjoyer, yeah. We're doing our best here. Is their HP going down? So they should still get hit 10% of the time, right? So as long as I'm attacking them like 10 times a second, they should bleed. Let's take a look at the Blood Beast charge damage. Any impact hits? That's a pretty weak sauce charge, I must say. Oh boy, there they go. They're breaching the walls. Time for the retreat. Come on, Blood Beast, you got this. Come on, Skull Taker's dying, man. I'm gonna debuff them. Not like it does much, but 0 armor is kind of nifty. Yeah, it's like, you know, it's kind of going. Oh boy, I think if I can just figure out a way to beat this army. If I can just figure out a way to beat this army at the start of the campaign and then start recruiting horsemen, we'll be in a much, much better position. Man, dude, Skull Taker has never felt so weak sauce, though. He feels positively useless. He's usually just such an insane lord that I honestly expected this to kind of be easier. Or maybe like my guys would be able to melee them to death anyways. This will be good chariot practice. Once we get that going. Alright, get him, blood beasts. I believe. Surely the blood beast can kill these guys eventually, right? Oh my goodness, look at this guy on his little horse. We're almost dead. These chaos warriors are quite nifty. I guess I can start building some towers. Any towers over here? Dude, the extreme lack of towers is kind of rough. I wonder if this one can see any of the dudes. All right, here we go. This is it. This is a downhill charge. Does not get better than this. Okay, I see a couple rolling attacks. All right. All right. We're going to have to back it up. Now, the blues and the pinks are not an issue. My warriors can block them. You could see the warriors versus the marauders. We'll just let that play out. Jeez Louise, bro. Oh my gosh. Let's take a look at their HP. It is slowly dropping. That's interesting, though. Why are these Marauders of Tzeentch so scary? 42 melee attack? Oh, that's why. They actually have really good melee attack because of their chevrons. I'll probably have to restart the battle. Would it apply to vassals? Yeah, it's the way the mod works. It's not super sophisticated. The person that's helping me mod is still learning how to get it set up a little bit better. But essentially, it just sets the stats. They just manually set the stats of all the units to 500. So technically, if I got allies, I would get the 500 melee defense. So naturally, we just restrict ourselves to not getting allies. Since I'm pretty sure most campaigns you can actually cheese by... You can cheese by just sitting around and doing nothing. And just diplomacy cheesing. Okay, so this is definitely a loss. Okay, I'm gonna need to figure out. I'm going to need to figure out a strategy. This is kind of like a puzzle. Skarbrand would actually be I might just play Skarbrand because he has a mass, right? He might be the only one that you can start with because everyone else just sucks, bro. Everyone else, like, I guess Skull Taker does have the cool cavalry, but yeah. Yeah, I think peasant mobs would actually beat Wrathmongers here. Though, maybe not. It'd be kind of close. Yeah, Skarbrand and using the mass. Technically, people... Well, the thing is, the solo Skarbrand ones, they work because you can actually sit around and do damage. Like, Skarbrand would lose to a horse mage in this mode. Not a good sign, but I think we can figure it out. So many years and they still haven't implemented the remember camera settings. There's a mod for it, but I don't want to always be turning it on and off every time I switch to multiplayer or single player. Okay, so same idea. I need to get horsemen. I gotta get the chariots. Then I have to be extremely ammo efficient with the horsemen. Okay, we're gonna do this. Yeah, I have to use more range units. I'm working on it. It's turn one. And Yeah, so this is the only thing that increases ammunition for horsemen. There's nothing else. That's it. Hey, Dr. Adam, thank you very much for the prime sub. Go and fight 500 melee defense Dowie. Ooh, man, that mass.
Stop pushing it.
All right. Crushing defeat. The fun thing about this mod, it really goes to show that CA does not actually value speed as a stat, because it doesn't actually get counted for auto resolve, as far as I can tell. If it has an impact, it's basically 0, because auto resolves felt more or less the same. Actually, they felt exactly the same, I'm gonna be honest. But when the melee defense is 500, suddenly crushing defeats 24/7. Sounds like a perfect challenge for vampire accounts. Yeah, you got zombies, casters, and mortises. That's why we're playing as Khorne. Now, assuming... So, like, flanking is useless then, right? Flanking is useless. So, you have to play very differently than you usually would. That's what I like about these mods. These guys, they are just an anvil. They are the most anvil you could possibly have, because they actually don't do any damage. Which means that flanking and maneuvering doesn't actually give me a benefit. And instead, I'm doing stuff like this. Now, I do see the cavalry. I think Skarbrand can still bully them. But if he gets surrounded by the boar boys, I actually just straight up die. So, gotta be a little careful. Gonna see what good old Skarbrand can get done over here. So, let's take a look at this charge. Pretty good. Knocks back a few boys. Ouch. A couple arrows peppering them. But yeah, if they're not braced and we get the right attack animations, we're set. Unfortunately, these ones are kind of weak sauce. Come on, Skarbrand. Here we go. If I attack the unit in the back, that's how you get the kind of chariot action with Skarbrand. And you can see, despite the stat difference, he can actually get very mild amounts of damage on him. It's a little awkward, I know. Let's see. I could get into melee too. Once I get into melee, it can be a little more awkward for them, perhaps. This guy sucks, by the way. His melee defense is super low. So he's effectively just a mage in my eyes. Alright, but let's get anviling. Usually when you give charge commands, the first like movement action, yeah, you see how that like didn't do that much damage, right? It's the movement that gets the impact hits, not the attack animations. Attack animations rely on melee attack. So in theory, if I click on these guys in the far back, Skarbrand, ooh, he kind of got bogged down, but you can see the idea is there. Gonna try and charge into these boar boys. Nope. Oh boy. Nobody, nope. I'm just gonna occupy these archers. Summoning directly on top of them is not very useful. They do still take damage though. Hey, you know, this will be very good for when I get into multiplayer, because Skarbrand is actually a chariot. There we go. All right, got a little bit of a hit there. We're kind of on a tight timer. Yeah, he's like a no magic mage. He's kind of no, never mind. He has no, yeah, he's squishy. 3,000 HP is basically nothing. Melee defense is a hidden mass trait. No, Skarbrand's just getting bogged down because they have savage orcs. They have 140 mass. There's also just like the cavalry that's kind of in the way. The positioning's just a little awkward. Oh, there we go. All right, I finally got it. I'm not a Skarbrand master, by the way, so I'm not super good at getting his charges off. Come on, Skarbrand. Get over there. Yeah, I'm not super duper good at getting these charges, but I guess it's good practice. A lot of people will think they're getting good charges with them too, but they're actually just getting the animations off. There you go. Okay, so I think if I position on top of this hill and charge them in the rear, should do. Can we use range units? I can use range units, but only Marauder Horsemen. Okay, I think I need to click this guy over there. We'll probably have to try this battle again, by the way. This should be winnable, though. There you go. Okay, yeah. You see how he cleaved through like 10% of their HP there? I see a little bit of an opportunity here, perhaps. Nah, it didn't really work out so well. Yeah, I've seen some multiplayer gurus use Skarbrand like a chariot properly, and he can do a lot of damage. This sucks. Nah, trust. As soon as I get horsemen, this challenge will become much more manageable. It is pretty rough though, feeling like a wet noodle. Ooh, I can use the Lord. Oh yeah, that's it. Oh, there we go. That's the most damage I've ever done. Okay, yeah, I figured it out. I figured it out. So you have to get the Lord kind of deeper into your formation, and then you right-click him with Skarbrand. Yes! Look at that damage! This is the most damage I've done all game. I will say the starting army's kind of rough, though. But we are now doing damage. Skarbrand actually does have kills. There we go. Just plow through a couple of those guys. You can see he gets real tired. Plow through a couple of those guys. And I just have to avoid attacking as much as possible. Then I just need to rampage the archers. There you go. Get over here, you fools. You know, I've done a surprising amount of damage considering their rather ludicrous melee defense. I think if I did this properly from the start, we might have actually been able to win this. Let's get charging here. Does it damage the cavalry? No, but we are actually killing this one savage orc unit now. Let's get that melee attack buff. For leadership reasons, I guess. Does he? He does! I think he does hurt the cavalry a bit. Kind of like how frost worms can get that done. What's the thing? This is a mod. So this is a mod that increases the melee defense of all units that are not Khorne, to be specific. It's pretty nice. This is almost winnable though. Come on, dude. If he didn't have two savage orc boar boys, we could totally get this done. Okay, this is fine though. So lords are obviously the most difficult thing to deal with. And as long as this army doesn't just beeline it to my major settlement, we'll be okay. Is 500 too high? We can definitely win this. Trust me, there's so many cheeses. I didn't even waste the ammunition on these guys, okay? How do you kill the Lord, though? You can see he does take damage. Technically. Right? You do only have a 10% chance to hit. But you also have a 10% chance to hit, like, a legendary Sigvald with a Lord that has, let's say, 35 melee attack, right? You know, roughly, it's like they have about like 100 melee defense. So it's kind of similar to trying to kill dwarf lords with like a mage, with like a bunch of mages. It's not impossible is what I'm trying to say. Now Skarbrand does make it out with his life, and that means that we just have to survive 3 turns. And then we can go ahead and get our upgrade and going. And then I just gotta spam 2 Marauder Horseman stacks. And life will be good. Yeah, this is like trying to kill iron breakers with like, I guess, like, you know, it'd be like iron breakers with a low melee attack armor piercing unit. So I guess, like, I don't know, Graveguard. So trying to kill iron breakers with Graveguard great weapons. Close. That's kind of close. Kill them with zombies. I can only play Khorne. It's the only true way to play this challenge. Okay, so only a couple more turns and then we're good. But yes, I need the tankiest shielded units for anviling. So, like, chosen with shields are definitely not bad. I think we can get some work done there. Footlords get knocked down and no damage. Footlords can still take impact hits, but impact hits would only do like maybe 100 damage at best. It'd be pretty mild. So I can't really rely on that. Though we will have horsemen in a couple turns. I just need these guys not to attack me. The hope is we've done enough damage to them in that initial battle where they're dissuaded from running me down. Oh boy. I kind of like this though. I think it'll get more interesting once I get access to different units. Skull cannons for sure, like horseman kite is just good. But there are some melee units that would actually not be the worst. And I'm actually quite interested to see how something like Wrathmongers do. Although then again, no, they should be tankier, right? Or high weapon strength, so when they do hit, it still hits very hard.
Only the strongest may serve.
I really do wonder what the upper bound of my melee units look like. Because, who knows? Maybe they're sick. Okay, horsemen in but a few turns. Chance to colonize ruins, sure. Then there's no ruins near me right now, because it's Skaven, but maybe there will be eventually. Any cav have enough mass in Khorne? Yeah, skull crushers are quite good. Blood crushers are quite good. Though they're not super fast. Their impact hits are not the craziest. I'd rather have like high mass dudes. So like bloodthirster stacks could potentially do okay. This will be actually really interesting because you would need either I go horseman or I would need some of the strongest doom stacks in the game to win. Like, even if I get Skarbrand to 90% ward save, it actually just puts him about even with the rest of the world. 90% ward save, regen Skarbrand. But I think that's the goal, right? I want to get to the point where I put my strongest melee doom stack against these guys and see if we can win it. Though I'm sure there's probably a few abilities that give a Mortis effect. Or I spam a bunch of Marauders so I can use the Sword of Khorne. Oh, you guys hear that? The sounds of the outside. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. It's kind of loud, but not that loud. I got the windows open, by the way. Once I get AC and I can turn it off, then we're good. Oh, finally. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. We're gonna live. Okay, so this Skarbrand is actually doable then. So I can start getting all the horsemen going. And in but 2 turns, I will actually have a standing army that can do things. Plus horsemen can cycle charge too. So this could be really good. I do think though, Khorne's horsemen, they have enough ammunition to kill like what, 1 unit? The outer net. Dang. Also, where do you guys get those logos on Twitch? I see like a snowflake, like a little NASA logo. What's going on there? Can you like show your logo on Twitch now? Is that what's going on? Sure, I'm just spending skulls so I can unlock the next tiers. Pretty good. As soon as I recruit these guys, we're kind of hoping we get attacked. I think a Khorne Lord would confederate if they're down to one settlement. They'll die fast. I think, maybe. I do notice when they have no armies, they easily accept diplomacy stuff, but I'm just gonna go with no diplomacy for the simplicity of it. Was flanking with range units a common thing in Rome too? Ah, hell yeah, okay. Okay, this is good. This is good. Oh, thank goodness. I actually got the dudes just in time. If these guys came one turn later, I would not be able to win this. Okay, nice. I think this is enough horsemen to just kill him. Oh, you can get logos from different streams. That's cool. Ah. Space Enjoyer, fellow Space Enjoyer. You guys see the moon? Well, actually, yeah, this was Artemis, yeah. You guys see, anyone else here see the Artemis photos? They're pretty sick. I will say I'm very happy to see more space news, man. And they're gonna do more. They're gonna land people on the moon again. It's gonna be crazy. Oh, the challenge. Yeah, I can bring up the actual mod. Let me see if I can grab it real quick. Yeah, I need to get in the habit of pinning this. Pinning the mod. There we go. Okay. And we're gonna do this for okay. There we go. The mod is pinned. I should actually, you know what? Wait. Unpin this message. Mod. There we go. And then we pin it. Nice. Okay, there's my due diligence. Back to this. But yeah, space news. Space news, always very exciting. Now, you can see my horsemen, they have not a lot of ammo. Jeez, what is going on out there? It's usually not this loud. Usually it's just the sirens. But yeah, these guys are great. They're fast. The problem is, like, one horseman stack doesn't have enough ammo to kill infantry. So I'll have to be a little wary of that. Really, Rome 2 battles were really long. I always thought Warhammer battles were just fast no matter what. So what's with these guys? Speed, man. Surely they're tired? Yeah, they're getting tired from constantly charging. That's good. Okay, there we go. So just a little bit of dancing, and there you go, they're out. And then I'm gonna chase them off without spending ammunition. Then we go on to the next. Thank you very much, Minecraft. Pew pew. Pew pew goes to campaign indeed. So there are some archer boys here. You can see they still think about skirmishing. The AI, the way it treats units is based off of the internal code, not based off their stats. So you can have the dinkiest cavalry in the game, and they can have the strongest range unit in the game. And if they're assigned a skirmish, you know, if they're told to skirmish, then they're gonna skirmish. And that's gonna help me stop them from shooting, because all I gotta do is get close. Yes, 500 defense hits the absolute maximum. Skarbrand whiffed his attack, that's okay. You can see their formations in a little bit of disarray, that's good. And I can use these dogs not to fight. Instead, we can use the dogs to get these archers moving. I'm pretty sure these guys will run away from dogs. We'll see. They do. Okay. So as long as I dance the dogs around, I'll be okay. And now we can start using Skarbrand the Chariot. See, the dogs are doing good. I'm going to turn off fire at will, because we need to be so extremely efficient with our shots here. Gonna position them here. Let's see what Skarbrand can do. Beautiful. Oh, thank goodness Skarbrand's Chariot. Skarbrand's a Chariot. That's the most damage I've done all battle. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. I think I'll shoot these guys to death. And there you go. A little bit more Chariot action. I have to tell him to stop charging, because the end of the attack is not very useful. Let's go over here and glorious, glorious damage. Very nice. Let's turn fire will back on. So far, so okay. Actually, let's turn it off again. I really do not have a lot of ammunition here. It's hard to remember that these guys are essentially indestructible once the ammunition runs out. And these savage boar boys here, they're going to be a problem. So I'm just going to post up and get those shots in. The Lord is also a problem too. Nice, you see that impact hit? The Lord's also a problem, but they die pretty hard to the horsemen. Okay, looks like the boar boys are on the run. Fine by me. Let's just keep bullying them. The dogs are doing great. Oh boy, dude, these battles are gonna be... Until I can get a critical mass of horsemen, we have to be so methodical with these. Okay, he's almost dead though. Okay, dogs, keep dogging. Skarbrand needs to keep cycle charging. This is a lot of micro. This is a lot of micro. All right, and let's see if I can get a good charge here. I think I have one lined up. There you go. Lord's dead, thank goodness. But we are running out of ammo. That's a good charge, though. Maybe if I rear charge these guys with the horsemen, it can do something. Oh crap, the dogs. They just have to keep moving. As long as they keep moving. No, I'm gonna use patrol commands for that. No, not them. Attack these guys. Remember, I can still use my horsemen against infantry. It's just the higher mass stuff that I gotta worry about. You see the dogs? They're doing it. They are distracting the archers. I need to keep this guy around for the move speed. Okay, nice. Very nice. Okay. So now I gotta find a way to rout off these boar boys. And then it's just Skarbrand. But this is good. This is very good. And we just gotta go over here. Lord loss penalty is active. If I get Skarbrand here and they just terror out, that's perfect. Ah, hell yeah. Okay, nice. That's another threat out of the way. Just gonna turn off fire at will. So it's just the archers and some infantry is all. Unfortunately, this guy's gonna die. That's fine though. And we're gonna grab the horsemen. Live! Live, you little dude. He's barely stabilizing. Hell yeah. All right, guys. Good to go. So that is everything but the infantry now. This is perfect. Oh, boy. All right. Now what we got to do is start cycle charging. So same thing as before. It's all about the impact hits. Skarbrand should be very good for that. Let's see. Can we get a good hit? Only a mini one. Only a mini hit. I just want to keep this guy alive because it gives a lot of movement bonuses. Oh, this one should be good though. And there we go. All right, nice. I need perfect vigor on Skarbrand. I think that would suit him very well. I wonder if I can keep him walking forwards there. Yeah, this is actually so good for learning how to practice my micro. Dang it, got the attack animation. I swear, I've seen people fly with Skarbrand, man. They like give him back his wings, it's crazy. Okay, surely. So if I start his charge animation, I keep him walking forwards? No. Maybe some cavalry? We're at the point where I can start terror routing these guys. Which is not exactly part of the plan, but it ain't the worst. I think I need a good chain of units to get it done, but I think this should terror route them. Savage orcs are not naturally ITP, right? No, they are. Okay, so no terror routes, but if I get enough damage on them, they will route. One of them bites the dust. The other one's clinging on. I assume they're always getting the winning in melee leadership buff, which will make it more difficult to route them. Jeez, can you route, please? All right, one at a time. Yeah, they're actually not routing. It's crazy, man. Dude, these battles. This is truly legendary difficulty. I think this is what people feel is gonna happen when every time I ask CA to buff legendary difficulty. Like, I won't be able to fight him. Honestly, true in some senses. I think I've reached a level of understanding. It's okay as long as these archers don't shoot. Those guys are routed. They're done for. Army losses can still happen, by the way. So army losses is based off of the price of the units, not their stats. So you can have someone that is basically indestructible, but if their base cost is too low, if their upkeep is too low, they'll still get army lost. And I think that is close to what we are achieving over here. Now, one might imagine if I'm struggling this much with a beginning army, you can imagine what a late game composition will look like. But Skarbrand's pretty sick. Khorne campaigns tend to be one of the most crazy power scaling campaigns in the entire game. So I have confidence. There you go, that's a pretty good charge. Then we'll hit up the archers. Cav charges. Cav charge is still pretty good. And I think we can cav charge this guy. And they should also route very soon. It's a leadership bombs and cycle charging. If I can find a unit with a glorious charge too, that'd be perfect. Since obviously we're not doing as much damage, leadership bombs will be super good. Hero stacking too. I have no qualms about hero stacking in this campaign because obviously yeah, we need some strong armies, bro. Gonna keep cycle charging. I think if I get Skarbrand here, he can help out. Perfect environment to practice Chariot micro. I can recruit chariots, and I definitely will be recruiting some chariots after these horsemen. This is a downhill charge, so we can use the power of gravity. It was a little effective. It was only okay. These are big guns, though. They have, what, 180 mass? That is actually similar to some dwarf units. So that's why they're not too easy to get down the hill, but they will die eventually. Big ol' surround on them. Got a few tens of damage. Definitely more of a Skarbrand job. You need to live. It's kind of weird. They get harder to cycle charge as time goes on. Oh, crap. Is that gonna save his leadership? Come on, you got 35 leadership, bro. Hold. What are you doing, bro? Just stabilize. All right, I'll get him back later. It's fine. Oh, I guess he technically can't die. Is he gonna stabilize? No. Okay. All right. Odds of army losing them just got lower. Jeez. This is kind of brutal. I really do need a chariot. I think without a chariot, I can't clean up these units. Skarbrand is only okay. He's kind of like half a chariot. But yeah, the Marauder horsemen, they don't really got the oomph. Although against the archers, it's kind of okay. I'm planning to get Khorne bikes at some point. Weirdly enough, they're actually bad chariots. They're a good unit because of their attack animations, but we already discussed attack animations are bad. Are very bad here. Oh my gosh. This is just... Can I beat Warhammer without attack animations? Alright, Skarbrand. Oh, I'm gonna drag those archers in. Gonna get a slight impact charge. Where is the damage? I'm working on it. This position is perfect to get the damage. So look at this. You charge a unit in the back. Jeez, that did nothing. Yo, I will learn this though. The technique, we will come out of this with some insane tech. All right, I'll be the best single entity microer in the entire world after this. Okay, yeah, I think you have to like chain attack commands. If I do this. No, then he just attacks normally. Can we get a downhill charge? They braced. You can see the AI knows how to brace, but it's not enough. This is good. We have multiple units together. So if we do this, it's harder, by the way, when Skarbrand is low on vigor. That's gonna make life a little tougher for him. And I basically want to disengage as soon as my cavalry touches him. That's how you... Yeah, because the moment they connect, that is when the damage shows up. And we just micro, right? And just micro good. Chosen spam brain can't comprehend how fast your horsemen die. Does anything else on the Khorne roster die quickly? Not much, right? Alright, here we go. I'm rampage these fools. AI is too good at bracing for the charges. And this way, I don't know if mass impact hits are better when you're attacking them in the back. See, that was a pretty nice charge. And we bounce back and forth. Back it up. Some of them will start routing. Oh my goodness, these guys are so low on leadership, but they won't leave. And if I can just get this one archer to route, bro. Yes. That was a pretty good impact hit. It's kind of weird. Their leadership spikes while I'm disengaging. Okay, we got one unit routed. Man, what I would do for like a chaos dwarf train right now. I think one train would actually be so perfect. Unbreakable locks broken, not broken leadership. Yeah. If I use Relentless Rage, I don't think they stabilize. I don't know, it's kind of hard to tell because those guys really don't like stabilizing. Is that a route? I think that was just, was that terror route? These guys shouldn't terror route. Okay, with the horsemen, though, on their heels. There you go. There you go. Got him to route. Okay, I gotta make sure I don't lose Skarbrand. there's a rear charge, which should break their leadership. 11. Jeez Louise. Alright, a little bit of disengage. I swear things will get easier once we have what I'm looking for. Skarbrand still has 1,000 HP. There we go. We did break him. Very nice. Okay, there's a rampage. Crap. These guys rallied. They should rout as soon as Skarbrand gets close to him, though. I'm just gonna let these guys rest so that their leadership comes back. Ouch, bro. Alright, they're shattered now. Jeez. Oh, you're kidding me. Skarbrand, no! I see. Okay. Alright, well, at least they're basically all dead. Hey, Dangler, what's up? Okay, yeah. I am in such a desperate need of some chariot action. Hey, we did win a chariot only one, didn't we? Almost had it. I was not careful enough. Winnable though, winnable. I'm gonna need some turns, so even if Skarbrand is wounded, I'm gonna be re-recruiting guys anyways. The only loss is a little bit XP. And I'll just get a random dude.
Can be taught.
Okay, they should be too injured to get here. But just in case, I'm gonna ambush. Then we're going to get a Chaos Lord, and they are going to finally get me some chariots.
Lord of Khorne.
There we go. Perfect.
Raise and roar commands.
Brutal charge. I'm gonna need that. But yeah, I don't think anyone vanilla can get up to like 500 melee attack, right? I would need at least 450 melee attack before I can start thinking about having a higher chance to hit them than the bottom. I think no matter how hard you stack, it's just not enough, right? Like 200 melee attack is doable. 300, maybe if you do it perfectly, but 500? You would need some exquisite cheese or some crazy stacking for that to work. Hey, this is good though. I have chariots. We are entering a new age of army composition. That's true. Rear charges do reduce melee defense by 60%. So that cleaves through like 300 melee defense. Legitimately, actually, yeah. So if I can get Skarbrand to 500 melee attack, then maybe.
Fight for Khorne.
Oh yeah.
Give blood.
Okay.
Spill blood.
Okay, this is good.
Lord has returned.
So we have our doom stack.
We serve the greatest God.
I don't really need Chaos Warriors.
Slaughter no more.
I actually don't need that many chariots either, now that I think about it. Some, let's just leave caps lock on. Yeah. Ooh, speed for chariots is perfect.
Khorne's army requires more might.
But yeah, like, in theory, I only need a couple chariots for cleanup. The rest is gonna have to be horsemen.
Blood bespeaks his will.
This is chariot spam campaign. The thing is, I still can't kill anything larger than infantry with just chariots. I have to have something else. And that something else is gonna be the horsemen. I think, yeah. Even someone with like 90% missile resist is still gonna suffer quite a bit from horsemen.
Khorne calls.
They've arrived.
We answer.
Minus upkeep in the region is really good, by the way.
War.
So,
Blood is true.
does this, is there an upgrade to ammunition? in the red line. The red line is actually pretty useless then. Let me see. Okay, yeah. How could I have not predicted that most of Khorne's stuff increases melee attack?
War is Khorne.
This'll do though.
A well-favored task.
It's all melee. Okay, so we're gonna kill off the cavalry, and then we're gonna use chariots and see how well they do. Chariots are good though, so their animations naturally make them target behind the enemy unit. Also random 1 goblin sphere. Khorne have ways to reduce local leadership. I was thinking about that. I'm pretty sure there's a trait that reduces local leadership. That is it vanilla though? Is it accessible for all factions? I know I know there's like some evil factions that have it. I know there's the wood elves that have it. Alright, and you guys are gonna hide. But yeah, I don't know. Definitely though, some leadership bomb cheese can be worked on. So we'll just get our horsemen over here and hopefully aggro these guys. Obviously we don't want to use all our ammunition, but I have more than enough to kill some orc boys. Skull cannon does work. Skull cannon doom sacks are good, but I still have to kill single entities. Most people would kill SEs with Skarbrand, but obviously that's not possible. You look at the speed on these boar boys. Why do they feel so much faster than usual? They're gaining. Seriously though, alright, they're so fast. Do I still have the 500 speed mod on? Nah, we'll be able to play keep away. I do wish that these axe throwers were javelin throwers though. Axe throwers are one of the worst skirmishing units if you're not looking for armor piercing. So like the armor piercing is definitely really good, but they're otherwise low ammunition, low range, bad arcs of fire. It's pretty rough. Now, I'm not charging them because I think it'll kill them. I'm charging them because if you get flanked, you lose leadership. And if you get shot at, you also lose leadership. And that way I can break them at as high HP as possible. Look at the leadership debuffs here. Losing in combat currently is weird, but attacked in the rear and friendly unit routing should be there. So I should be able to route them. Though one of my units is routing. -1, so they should route soon. There we go. Very nice. And it's this kind of min-maxing that'll save me from having to burn through the rest of their HP. I can use the chariots to chase them off. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I can just axe throw these guys to death. So I'll just give a quick attack command so that they shoot at them instead of everything else. You stacked minus leadership in your Throg campaign with Disfiguring Scar, but still had to use death magic to fully route them. Okay, so it does still stack though. I was wondering if they had, if they patched it out. Because it's kind of like a duplicate ability. Usually duplicate abilities don't work in battle, but on campaign they do. All right, nice. Looking good. I do have to be really careful with these chariots though. If they die to the boar boys, screwed. What does this guy have? He does have an ability that does damage. Magic is very good. Does he have anything else? Cannot die. Oh, these guys are gonna rout soon. Thank goodness greenskin leadership sucks even on legendary difficulty. Very nice, very nice. Get some little mini chariot charges here. I think I might lose one, but that's not the end of the world. Okay, nice. so let's see if these chariots cook. Khorne chariots are basically the same as any other chariot. They have a little bit more melee attack, I guess. Do they have less melee defense? Yeah, but you typically don't want to leave them in combat anyways. The question is, can I get some proper charges with these guys? So the AI is exceptionally good at bracing for charges. And if I mismanage, that would be real bad. You can see, yeah, they're just not getting amazing charges. That was good, though. As long as the infantry's moving, should be okay. And the damage is pretty bad. Wait, does that mean chariot charges are actually tied to their melee attack? That would actually be kind of surprising for me. It's either that or I'm just not nailing these charges, one or the other. Should be getting some pretty sick impact hits though. This worries me. I feel like the chariots are doing less than usual, but I don't know. I haven't actually used chariots. Does any do we have any chariot enjoyers in chat? I know you guys are rare, but is allying allowed? Allying is not allowed. So no allying, no diplomacy. Until we can get the mods to disable the buffs for my allies. Once that's allowed, then I'll... Or like once that's implemented, then I'll do it. But right now it's a little too difficult getting a mod that exclusively applies to armies I'm at war with. Just one more cav unit realistically, and then we're good. You should go on 5. There we go. I'm not gonna lie though, I don't really feel these chariots. They feel very, very lackluster. Ooh, maybe I can kill the cavalry. Get a max throwers. I can stall the infantry with these guys. And then I think if I charge in with one unit in the back, that should rout them off. Chariots are, how many kills? 3, 3, and 1. Jeez, that's not good, is it? This might just be a horseman campaign. Marauder horsemen into the horizon. Dread, Incarnate, and Pompous traits still exist? I have no idea, man. In terms of campaign knowledge, I'm definitely the most behind out of all other creators, except for maybe Turin. I really do not have a lot of campaign knowledge. Jeez, these boys. They are not dying quickly, are they? Hopefully I can get the slip through and keep the cavalry routing. That's by far the most important thing. Gonna do this ability, which gets a little bit of damage. It's kind of like a mini Mortis engine. Get him. And then I can start doing some chariot surrounds maybe on the archers to see how they do. You know, one thing that I do like about this is just how much it tells me about the inner workings of the game. Like, apparently chariots don't actually use impact damage very much. Which means... Does that mean if you increase the melee attack of chariots that they'll do way more damage? That'll be interesting to see, actually. Does this guy have a melee attack boost? He does. Okay. So, like, look at this chariot charge, right? It's gonna be pretty lackluster, as we've been seeing. Oh, wait, crap. Yeah, no, these guys have too high melee defense. So if I use this, it won't actually help me out. Dang it. Okay, let's just finish chasing off dudes real quick. We're gonna get the Lord and run him off and away. There you go. I just need to get to a position where I can use my chariots properly. Okay, and we're gonna try this out. missile attacks. Missile attacks are not nerfed. So that's why horsemen are good. But pure horseman only army for Khorne is not great. Okay, that charge is okay. It's definitely... You can really feel the melee defense saving the units from the chariot stuff. I actually did not know that. So... Yeah, it's either that or it's like the mass, but some savage orcs should take a lot more damage. Skull cannon would be awesome, yeah. But it's also low ammunition. That's the issue with most Khorne ranged. Let's get this guy dislodged. There we go. So we're gonna test to see if maybe it's just the AI's bracing behavior that's saving it. We're gonna do this. So this is a chariot full surround. This stuff hurts quite a bit typically because you're getting charged in the rear. And you can see the impact hits are... They're okay. Yeesh. Okay, I think this basically has to be horsemen and skull cannons then. Until I can get some ludicrously strong melee units. Which I do think if I can manage like regenerating Wrathmongers or something, they'll actually be able to put up a pretty decent fight, at least versus Chaff. But otherwise, these guys are kind of in like Skarbrand purgatory, where if you can get it just right, you know, you can do a little bit of damage, but definitely less effective than the horseman. So we'll just pull back over here. This does make me wonder, the 10x HP mod, where we just give everyone like 10 times the HP. That would basically be this, right? But way more difficult. I think it would be fun to play as the strongest faction in the game and to try the 10x HP mod. Maybe 10x is a bit too much, but I think there's probably a faction in the game that could actually pull it off. Impact hits were a lie. I know, right? So impact hits make up like what? 20% of a chariot's damage? Let's take a look at these impact hits. Yeah, impact hits, it doesn't matter until it really does. There's like a set of situations where impact hits are amazing, but most of the time it's actually just melee attacks, which is not a big deal. I think you kind of want stats to matter more than just mass and speed. And it definitely matters more on like Slanesh, but geez Louise. Maybe exalted hero chariots? Maybe? Okay, you know the funny thing though? At 500 speed, impact hits do actually play a much bigger part. Because if my chariots are moving at 500 speed, these guys would just get obliterated, right? But obviously that's... Speed scales impact hits quite well. I don't know if it's linear or what. Would nukes kill 10x HP units? No. Most infantry have 70 HP. So at 10x HP, they'd have 700. Nukes, I think in the middle, it does 500 damage. But yeah, basically, they'll have like a 10th the HP that single entities have. So anything that doesn't kill single entities, it won't kill them. And nothing kills single entities. No AoE attack kills SEs, so you gotta be a little careful. Okay, so what I think we do here, I'm gonna need to go plan B, where we give up on the javelin, or we give up on the chariots. I use up the rest of my ammunition, and then we just retreat, because this army is going to be a little too attrited to actually keep up the fight. And we should be good. Yeah, it's kind of cool. This is kind of like a, it's kind of like a ranged only campaign, except the rules are enforced much better than usual. Because usually if you have a ranged only, right, you know, you still have Skarbrand being able to melee. You can still melee with the horsemen. Now, you're heavily dissuaded from doing anything melee. Gaze of Mork would cook on 10x. Yes, that does like 500 damage, right? So there are some missile spells that will hit multiple units. That's why Gaze of Mork kills Wrathmongers. Yeah, I think, okay, basically anything that kills Wrathmongers you would want to use. Which is like only missile spells. Skarbrand the defeated. Yeah, if I was playing R-Ball, that would be rough because I'm like constantly retreating from battles to reset ammo. Overcasted Gaze of Mork is over 1k damage. Okay, here's the thing though. How do you kill SEs with 10x HP? Single entities, what do you do? You know, there's some indestructible compositions with undead where you get like basically infinite heal cap.
A mark of Khorne's judgment.
You get what is essentially an infinite heal cap, and then you just mega blob with zombies.
In his name.
I think Ungrim with the Slayers could actually kill technically an infinite number of units.
Blood speaker.
That would actually be pretty cool. An Ungrim campaign, Slayer stack. Obviously, there's still situations where the Slayer stack loses, but yeah, if you blob up super hard, you literally just don't lose Slayers. I think a 10x HP challenge is totally doable.
Deny my call.
Okay, we're just gonna fight this guy again. Execution abilities. Yeah, your lords will have 100,000 HP. At least some lords. Like Kugath would have over 100,000. He'd be like, what, 160,000? The amount of bullets that need to go into him would be crazy. You just need a mortis. Well, okay, here's the thing. 10x HP is a lot higher than a lot of you guys are thinking. All right, we're basically giving the enemy 90% ward save. That is a lot. Okay, you don't just give them 90% ward save and think your usual doom stacks will do it. We're talking like you need like some of the most extreme doom stacks to stand a chance against 10x HP. You're fighting like, you start running into attrition problems, right? Most doom stacks are rated to kill, you know, 4 stacks of armies at the same time. Not 10. 10 is a lot. Talking about the regen. Well, yeah, like the regen is still good, but like, does it hold up though? You need a doom stack that will come out of battles with 0 losses. Then you know it truly can go infinite. Which, you know, I know some undead stacks definitely can, because they also, I think they also come with reviving entities too. And then, yeah, there's the other thing that basically removes the heal cap, so. Yours might be good. Regen is percentage based. Oh, you mean if the enemy has it? Because obviously I'm not going to get the buffs. That would be OP. 10x HP challenge would definitely be just the enemy has it. I just noticed chasing off units, I don't do a lot of damage. No, maybe they're landing a couple hits. So this should be able to kill off another unit. This is just a kite. It's just a kite stream. It's kind of interesting though. I think once I can actually get enough ranged, like I think 2 stacks of horsemen will be able to carry me through the early game, and then like a 90% ward save Skarbrand will be able to grind his way through most of these guys. Like, even with the melee defense, I think if Skarbrand can just get that crazy ward save healing combo, he'll be fine. Is there anything in the game that does percentage HP damage? I don't think so, except for like execute abilities, which you already mentioned. Does anything do percentage damage? Yeah, I think it's only execution abilities. Let's see here. Miscasting is actually just like, what, 500 damage? Little like mini AoE on your caster. That's how it's coded, which is real jank, by the way, but fun fact. Manfred or Gelt can make them just infinite pit of shades them. I think Manfred and Gelt, they do have infinite winds of magic and flying, so they would definitely be contenders for a 10 XP a 10x HP challenge. Just want these guys away. Man, rip the chariots though. Rip the chariots. I really had high hopes for them. I'm sure they do much better versus lighter infantry. Like Gobbo's Empire forces and the like. I'm just gonna retreat with this guy so we don't die. But yeah, I'm sure they work better with the lighter tiers. But anything above 100 mass, I think, is not going to really take much at all. Vayne's Silver Bolt deals a percentage of the target's maximum HP as bonus true damage. Wait, are you talking like League of Legends? I'm like, is that a purple item? Or are we actually just talking about League? Oh, man. Yeah, why are we talking about League of Legends? I'm surprised I still remember that. I'm like, Silver Bolts, that sounds like a Warhammer, like, Witch Hunter thing or something. Oh my gosh. I love it. Technically true, though. Technically correct. Okay, let's take a look at this downhill charge. So hills amplify your charge by quite a bit. This is not nearly steep enough, though. But it's almost what I want. Oof, wait. So I don't have a lot of ammo to kill off that Lord. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna start saving ammo to snipe this guy. On the off chance that I actually can win this battle, I would want a, I would definitely want a dead Lord. How's this hill? The hill was mid. Okay, so let's see here. I'm gonna put this guy on 3 since they are a melee unit now. Gonna park over here. We're gonna do our best just so you can see I'm clearing the way with the chariots. When it comes to sniping lords, the important thing is to get as close as humanly possible. And then you lay into them. That way as few of your projectiles miss as possible. And I should have enough ammo to kill him. And if I keep blocking his infantry here with my chariots, then I think we're good. Yeah, he's getting burned down pretty fast. That's really nice. Having a little bit of a leadership debuff on these guys will go a very long way. Ooh, that's a big one. Hell yeah. If there's one thing I am good at, it's microing range units so they can actually get the snippety snipes off. I've been doing this one since Warhammer 1. Very nice. Glorious. We have killed an enemy lord. I've played too much multiplayer. Very nice, though. Very nice. Okay, I think we can actually kill this then. Guys, this might be the first win. This might be our first battle victory. Though, we'll see. This is a lot of dudes. Ammunition is running low. Lord loss penalty is certainly good, though. I'm going to have to just burn a little bit of ammo. I could technically be more efficient, but I don't know. Maybe I can just retreat and fight him again. Just full on wood elf Khorne. One battle versus a minor faction. Yeah, once I get the horsemen. Once I get like 2 stacks of horsemen, this becomes much less painful. At least you can't purchase another lord mid-battle. Oh, it took me a second to understand you're talking about multiplayer there. I feel like, honestly, it would not be that bad to make it where you can't resummon lords in domination. I think, personally, it'd be really cool if they made it where you just can't resummon units at all, and they increase the amount of money you can spend. Like, increase the amount of money, increase the amount of units you can actually get. Alright, maybe split the unit caps up. Because right now, domination, a lot of it is just spamming the same units over and over. Because the unit balance isn't done well enough. And then you kind of get less diversity that way. But you can get way more diversity. Like, you know, imagine like you get a super late game against Betonia and they're just like spamming out men-at-arms. It could be cool. But, you know, I'm sure most of my suggestions would just completely break the game mode. So, don't trust me. Knights of the Brazen Throne. They have pretty decent impact hits against infantry. We did see them when I was trying a Skull Taker run. But it's nothing too impressive. I think we can do this on X2. And the idea is, if I can wear down a few of these guys, we can leadership break the rest. We can leadership break them in general. I can also fight them in the water. That's pretty funny. One thing I really wanted to see is how these chariots do versus goblins. Okay, they just braced. They just braced it. These little guys. Friendly fire is good, though. A little bit of friendly fire from the arrows. Oh my gosh, dude, did those goblins actually get me? They're in the water, man. They got 11 melee attack. I guess it doesn't matter. My melee defense is garbage. Okay, I think we just, yeah, put them all into chariots. Yo, it's crazy how bad these chariots are. It's actually kind of insane. I might as well just let them die, man. Chariots are doing basically nothing. I would love to do a some sort of multiplayer build then, where you buff up the chariot. You buff up the chariot HP, or not HP, melee attack, and then suddenly you have like mega chariots. Who knows, right? What if there's some just crazy tech there? How's the challenge going? It's a bit of a struggle. We learned that chariots don't work, so I am stuck using just Marauder horsemen essentially for the time being, until we can get some skull cannons. Oh, we haven't restarted that many times. We're still doing good. I'm definitely just gonna retreat from this battle though. This battle's not worth playing. Okay, not our first win, but if I can attack him a third time and reset the ammunition, it'll be good. Such a crime that we can't have other IPs as mods in this game. You mean like a Lord of the Rings mod or something? Because didn't they have the Lord of the Rings mod for other stuff, or did they have to take that down? I swear they did that for like, what was it, Warhammer 2 or something?
Was I handed warriors or chaff?
Huzzah! We did it. We did it. I just have to lose all my guys. I think I'd rather not lose a horseman. I should have enough. Lord of the Rings or even Game of Thrones? Dang. It makes sense though. I think I heard a long time ago companies have to protect their IPs from everything. Right? They can't just like selectively let things fly. Otherwise, like, it degrades your copyright protection or something like that. This is some random thing I heard years ago. Maybe I'm totally wrong, but I believe there was a legit reason that they could not just let it roll. Because you'd think that, you know, a random mod having like Lord of the Rings would not be that bad, right? But who knows? Who knows? Chaos Chariots aren't considered great at the best of times. Yeah, it might just be my chariots. They're still definitely doing at least like half the damage they would usually though, right? I think these chariots are doing like a quarter of the damage they would usually do. But yes, I do agree, Gorby's chariots. Because as we know, it's all about that tipping point. If you can get enough mass charging in to actually knock them a decent distance away, they'll take fall damage. Along with many other strategies. What if I just turn on skirmish mode? Will that work out well? There's a couple situations where the chariots can do well too. You can see that charge is actually half decent. We lost a card game due to Warpforge being unable to renew their 40k lease. Really? Oh my gosh. Yeah, this I don't know, man. Working with IPs is just kind of a pain, man. I almost wish CA just had a fantasy Total War. Dude, those goblins, bro. They took that charge like champs. But yeah, I almost wish, because I'm not okay. On one hand, Warhammer IP, great, right? It's amazing. You get to enjoy the Warhammer game. It's the reason why I came in. But surely it holds Creative Assembly back a lot. I'm sure there's been a few times where Games Workshop has gone in the way and CA's just wishing they had their own IP that they could use, their own fantasy IP. Yeah, Gorby's chariots are what? They're 2,000 mass chariots? Total War Troy. Okay, I think Troy's kind of a fantasy like thing. It, you know, I feel like, you know, if they could just make their own universe, just StarCraft it, you know, just basically rip off Warhammer, right? But like, you know, just pizzazz it up a little bit. You know, you got instead of Space Marines, it's Space Cowboys. Done, right? That's all you really need to do to make a good enough fantasy IP. Though I don't know if they have the resources to go ahead and just do that. These chariots actually, one of them has straight up 0 kills. It's so sad. It's actually abysmal, man. It's abysmal. We got him though. We did it. It's the first win. Victory is mine. Jeez Louise. StarCraft already has Space Cowboys. I know. You have to just I don't know. What's we need a new type of Marine, okay? We need a Marine that is like all, I don't know. Let's just steal from Japanese culture, all right? Have we had like an honor-bound Space Marine-esque type of character before? I feel like Space Samurai, that's like $1 million idea right there. Write this down, Creative Assembly. What else is there? There's, I'm sure they've already done Space Knights. Jedis. Crap. Dang it. Dang it, you're so right. How about with armor though? How about with armor? All right, samurai, they had armor. They also use guns, yeah. Let's see here. Okay, I just have to think about the characters in For Honor. There's ninjas. The thing is, 40k has like subgroups of Space Marines that do this, but what else is in For Honor? Berserkers, Space Nords. That'd be hype.
Drink your fill, my followers.
Blood Angels, Space Vampires. Yeah, they already did that. Dang. It's like every idea has already been done. Okay, more horsemen. The path to victory is paved with 1,000,000 axes.
All wars are won.
And soon we'll have Skarbrand back. That's very exciting. Skarbrand is wounded for but 2 more turns. Space Wolves. Space Samurai mechas is Tau battle suits. Man. Surely there's some like cultures that we just like, you know, underrepresented culture or cultures in gaming. Like I think any culture in Africa, you see that very little, right? It's like almost always just like Europe. Except I guess like you have like Egypt, but like that's as far as they go most of the time.
Blood bespeaks his will.
Like can't really think of.
May be at hand.
Yeah, I think any African culture. Where else? What if you do like something more modern? You do like just like modern Australian culture. Have we seen Space Aussies yet? Come on. Yeah, Philippines, India, Brazil. Yeah, that'd be sick.
My word calls. Khorne's will.
Never asked, but you've never been chastised. What's this? Chat doesn't have to be PG. Chat can be, you know, like you can swear in chat as long as you're not just like going crazy. But generally speaking, like, you know, as long as you're not like being the main center point, you can toss out a couple. I just don't swear because I just never learned or got used to it while growing up. I don't really have anything against it though. And obviously, you know, don't be rude to others. These people just start slurring in my chat, please no. Catachan? Is that actually Space Australia? Wait, is that the one where it's like the super hostile jungle environment? It's a little too jungly to be Australia though, right? Yeah, we got Skarbrand back. Okay, nice. And so the infinite war with the greenskins begins. Intergalactic Kerbal military look like Kerbal space program. Be quite terrifying. They have an infinite supply of rockets and men willing to be shoved into them. Mad Max in space. I feel like Warhammer is close-ish. If you look at greenskins, they do give off that vibe. Man, makes you think about 40k again. I really wonder how in the world. Ah, nice. But yeah, seriously, how in the world are they going to make the map work? I really wonder. In my head, based off the trailer, it's like you kind of fly over to planets and then you can like conquer different sectors. So maybe like it takes time to fly to different planets, right? But then like once you're there, you're spending a couple turns fighting in the sector and like taking it over. That could be real interesting. Like I think CA, if they change up like how the map works with 40k, that could be quite revolutionary. Okay, nice. They only attacked with the one army. This ain't too bad. And we have our doom stack. We have our janky doom stack. Hopefully I can get some proper melee dudes going. I think it would be interesting if we had like a double melee defense mod. Some sort of percentage scaling under 100%. Because then I could actually just play a pure melee faction. And it's just like the battles are harder, but not impossible where I have to go ranged. Yeah, 40k has a lot of one-offs. Okay, I think I need to bring Skarbrand in here. I feel like I've been on this map since forever. I feel like we keep getting the same map. Alright. There we go. Thankfully, the AI is terrible at dealing with horsemen. Great success. Good job, Skarbrand. You helped rout him. Actually, he'll be quite good at routing off units like trolls. So I'll keep him around for that. Skarbrand's terror is very useful. There you go, another big rout. AI is on attack mode right now, so we can definitely abuse that. Ooh, that was a good charge. You guys see that? Took like a quarter HP off those guys. Very nice. Trolls are on the run. Let's take a look at this charge. Nope. Skarbrand still. Oh, actually, did you see that? Was that the horseman or was that his charge? I couldn't really tell. Alright, but Bloodletter Summon will do well. How did they still get hit by Skarbrand? Yes, physics. When in doubt, physics. So Skarbrand has a mass value of 6,000. And there's a very complicated equation. A mildly complicated equation that calculates damage when you run into an enemy unit. So the way it works is basically, if you're in a bigger size category than a unit, and your mass is... Actually, no. The mass doesn't matter very much. If you're in a larger size category, and you're moving fast, and you're in a charge animation, you get a certain amount of damage when you run into them. When you run into the unit. But, Yeah, how much damage is kind of weird. But like basically, if you have a frost worm, let's say, and it charges into cavalry, it will do impact hits. It's kind of weird. It's kind of weird exactly how it works. I think CA made a post giving the actual equation a long time ago. But what it means is if you have like a really high mass monster like Skarbrand or like a frostworm and they charge into cavalry, they take off like, let's say 75-60% of the HP off the unit. It's actually quite impactful. But you have to time it very well. But yeah, it's the same as like if you get like a high mass chariot and run it into infantry. Although apparently my chariots aren't high mass enough. I don't know why. They changed it for chariots? Oh, okay, so they did actually change it for chariots. It uses their... It doesn't use mass calculations anymore. Because I remember there was a time when like Tuskor chariots were absolutely broken. And I thought that was because of their mass. But yeah, if chariots don't use impact hits and just use their melee attack hits now, that would make a lot more sense. You ever play Rome 2? I've never played Rome 2. Closest thing to a historical title I've played is Three Kingdoms. Which is, in a lot of people's eyes, not a true historical title. Imagine there's a 500 melee defense Hellstorm rocket battery and there's nothing you can do about it. That one's not as bad because the artillery crew dismount. A 500 melee defense little Grom would be a menace though. That would be real bad. Also, I just remembered Skarbrand can get a breath attack when he levels up. That'll be very useful once we can get that going. Let's get Skarbrand. Yeah, all right. He actually got a pretty decent little charge there. Get him, Skarbrand. Get him. Ooh, that Lord is coming in too. The Lord is what sets up the best charges. Let me see if I can get it done. It was okay. Only okay. We are going to win this though. Ah, crap. I activated that a little too late, but I think we're still fine. I keep getting those attack animations with Skarbrand, man. Yeah, they're still unkillable. I could do this before they start crumbling so that they take less damage, but this is more than good enough. I should be able to route this little pocket too. If 40k is all the ranged, what's this? All the range units would have to still focus on one model. What's this? What's this about one model? Do you mean like the weird targeting for range units in this game? I have my hopes up for CA reworking a lot of stuff. They did say new engine, though we don't know to what extent. Cannot wait for that to come out. It's still gonna be like at least a year away though. It's very unfortunate. Okay, let's take a look at my horseman charge. So they have a massive 500. It's definitely more than these guys. And you can see the damage is quite middling. I honestly, this is the very interesting thing to me. I fully thought impact hits were a lot more important. I did not expect it to be so low. It's quite the revelation. A battle won though. That's good. The greenskins will be the easiest to kill, although these are axe throwers. So even dwarves will take a decent amount of deeps from them. We'll have to deal with Nagash until then. Nagash should be soon, right? Though CA hasn't done the marketing. So like years ago during the Warhammer 2 era, it would usually be they do marketing for like 1 or 2 months and then they come out. So since that hasn't started, Nagash is probably a ways off. Though recently they haven't been doing as much of that. They usually just drop the DLC like maybe like a week or something after. They did say summer, yeah. It's basically summer. But they might wait until the end of summer, who knows. Plus delays. Never underestimate the power of delays. Oh, that's a dwarf army. I probably don't want to go there. I'll take the skulls though.
For the wisdom
I could beat this, but I can't beat this. See the problem? They hate my guts though. Do I strike now while the iron is hot? I feel like he's gonna declare war on me anyways. Oh, but he's in an underway.
The axe thirsts for war.
You know, I'm Skarbrand, man. What am I doing if not declaring war on everyone who's close to me? Valiant defeat? I don't think so. Alright, let's see how we do versus dwarves. I think it's gonna be a little sus, but not impossible. Them posting YouTube vids was their marketing. Oh yeah, CA did put out a couple of vids recently, something like that. So maybe, I don't know, man. It's hard to get a read on them. Oh, because they retreated, no underway. Amazing. Well, that makes my life a lot easier. Skarbrand can just march right on up. Duel his lord. I will say the very fun thing about this mod is that once I get later in the campaign, I can actually doomstack. And there is actually a bit of a reason to doomstack too with melee, because my horsemen don't get any stronger, and in a late game they might actually not be good enough. But a hero doomstack skills quite hard. So my hope is we don't end up with just like a million horsemen and we actually get a bit of that diversity going. Luther Harkin gameplay, but it was on current patch. Okay, Luther Harkin gameplay, I did see that. I thought it was kind of weird. But I'm remembering now, they're obviously setting up for Nagash, right? So that's a good sign. That's a very good sign then. Fingers crossed sometime soon. Imagine they just cold drop it tomorrow. Jeez, did you see that run through? Okay, yeah. Okay, Skarbrand versus dwarves, way better than the greenskins. I don't know what it is about the dwarves. It's probably the denser formation. But Skarbrand gets way better impact hits on him. I can work with this. Look at this. Okay, so these guys are just turned on skirmish. We just let Skarbrand do his thing. I just need to get into position. It's a little awkward. Will this do? Yeah, that was only okay. That's nice though. Something about dwarves. Dwarves are always very susceptible to chariots too, so maybe it has something to do with that. Look at that damage, man. Skarbrand's he's actually doing it. Kind of sick. I'll just let the skirmishers kill the rest of these guys. If I sandwich those, they should rout. You assume the next one would be Manfred? That wouldn't make sense. Yeah, there's a few hills here too. This is a much better map for me. Oh my gosh. Nothing worse than a charge and they don't route. These ones did though. Yeah, Skarbrand's knocking them miles away. Look at that. I think we're safe enough to X4 now. This dwarf lord is gonna get army lost, and I won't have to actually kill the guy. If I did, life would be very difficult. But no. There he goes. And this army was on the retreat. They already retreated once, so that means that they're full dead. But I'm gonna kill the lord just in case there's something like extra money. I don't know how the extra money thing works when you kill lords, but I know there's something with it. So I'm just gonna do it for safety's sake. There we go. And he's dead. Good stuff. Now we have more. Yeah, they have more mass than Savage Orcs, but maybe they just have weaker knockdown. So all units have a % chance to be knocked down when they're hit. We saw that one CA made mages harder to knock down, which made them easier to kill. So dwarven infantry, they probably get knocked down easier than Savage Orcs. Isn't extra money just from casualties captured? I think specifically killing their lord can help out. At the very least, I know there was a rumor that that's how it worked before. But I can't really say more. Don't know how this game works fully.
The master sends us troops.
It's pretty good though.
May they
Okay, they have no more armies. That's perfect. Though I am at war with the dwarves now. Now I kind of want to test chariots against the dwarves, but I'll save it for later. 3 turns. Then I can eventually get another army going. Summer doesn't even start until June 1st. Officially. Feels like summer should already be going. I guess June is kind of soon. Yo, imagine June 1st release date though. CA would get so many points if they had a good launch at the beginning of summer. Though that would set expectations. I don't think as a company they want to do that. Because then anytime they put out a release, people will think it's super soon. Yeah, no diplomacy. I'll just decline everything. And I have an option. So either I can defend Death Gorge. There's not a lot going on there anymore. I think I'd rather just take care of enemies. And that means marching towards the greenskins. Locust of Wrath. Usually one of the best ones. It is useless now. Locust of Fury. Slightly better, but still not good. Also garbage. I think this at least does something. Dude, my income sucks though. They still have the Tigermen coming out in May-ish. May-ish? Are we actually getting are we actually getting something next month? That would be sick. I feel like I've been starving for content since like the launch of Warhammer 3. Honestly, I mostly look forward to 40k. Okay, so I can minus skulls and get an extra army that is useless. So I will just raise the settlements. Now this one's going to be exposed for a bit, but that's okay. I got to think about what I want to get next so I can get ammunition, okay, for skull cannons. That's good. And then hopefully the dwarves are just like too busy fighting someone else. No, they have massive armies. I'm definitely gonna be in a big fight with the dwarves soon. Global recruitment reduction, hungering blades. That's useless. Growth and control. I guess I'll take this. So I have 10,000 gold right now. So if I go ahead and get this guy, not only do I complete a quest, I can start doing this. That's a little too expensive. I think I'll just start locally recruiting. And even though it's a bit expensive, these guys do come in with silver chevrons. And then I'm just gonna go two of these chariots and hope that that's enough to kill off dwarves, because I'm still not completely sure if chariots are good or not.
Intensify my blood rage.
When Tigerman part of the Nagash DLC, I have no idea. I assume that they would just be free LC. That's how Sia usually does it, right? They get the DLC and the free LC faction. Aren't silver chevrons almost useless? Oh yeah, it does increase your fire rate, so units reload faster when they're chevroned up. The game doesn't do a good job of showing that's how it works, but it is. There they are.
Don't be a wazzock.
There they are. All right, it's almost not even worth defending this right now. Though I will be able to test out the chariots, so let's actually just try that real quick. There's no way October counts as summer though, by the way. See that message? There's no way. If Nagash comes out in October, jeez. Chariots in Rome 2 were fantastic. I will say, given that they changed how the physics works mid-game, like Warhammer 2 had tons of different ways the physics would work. I can only imagine how different Rome was. Okay, so this is the do chariots work versus dwarves test number 1. So when they're braced like this, it increases their mass, makes it harder to plow through them. Seems like they are not bad. I'm getting double rune of slowness. Okay. Oh my goodness. What's their speed, bro? It's 8. Wait. Oh, they did the smart thing. They did a master rune. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, at least it's good to know. So this just in, chariots. Not good versus dwarves. Better than versus greenskins, but still pretty atrocious, all things considered. Those iron breakers did not take a lot of damage. That charge is okay. They're definitely better, but still way too bad to be considered useful. The gas won't come out until October. Ugh. Don't jinx it. Don't jinx it. Outplayed. Yeah, that's... They actually used a multiplayer strat that was used against me to kill my lord. So if you use both runes, usually abilities with the same name don't stack. But overcast and one normal cast, that does stack. And that gives you an over 100% speed reduction. There is a cap to how much you can reduce a unit's speed, but it's still essentially a net. Quite terrifying indeed. Okay, so I'm getting rid of that army. And Skarbrand, here's the problem. If I don't have this settlement, do I just start taking like massive amounts of attrition? I sure hope not, because I don't have enough skulls to get a home yet. Tigerman will be a single faction pack or whatever. Not free. Not free. Crazy. So is it going to be like quite expansive? What if CA talked about for Tigerman? I feel like I've seen no news. Though I haven't been keeping up too much lately. Not a ton. Yeah, this green screen thinks the chair is part of my hair sometimes, so it's kind of weird looking when I move my head. Ah, crap. That's bad for me. That's really bad for me. Okay, so what? It didn't say it was gonna kill those guys. Well, that's a little awkward. I do have enough skulls though to occupy a settlement. But now I'm kind of stuck. Yeah, and I don't have a home. Alright, auto-resolve kind of did me dirty, but I'm sure we'll still be fine. This one's basically useless. This one is... Yeah, I guess this is the best. Alright, Operation Find a Home for Skarbrand. Does anyone know if deserts are inhospitable for me? Unpleasant are the deserts, so I should be heading north. It's kind of awkward, we might die. I just need to find a home. Realistically, only tier 2 is all I need, and we can start getting horsemen again. Not the end of the world. Interesting, we got some Malagor action. Still positive? What do you mean by positive? Oh, Stonehenge. I didn't realize there would be a settlement here. Alright. I should be able to take it, right? Oh crap, I used skulls. Crap. Whoopsie daisies. I needed that to secure a settlement. It's okay though. Oh yes, Skarbrand can heal now. That's really good. We got glittering scales. Okay, it's going. Fighting ogres will be interesting. If I have enough horsemen, anything is possible. Just full on 3 horsemen stacks should do it. Yo, when Nagash comes out, I should do a challenge video. What would be like a fun challenge with Nagash, though? You win campaign, you beat his campaign without undead units. What is this? Holy Icon of Despair. I think that was mentioned earlier. That's so good. There's probably some insane leadership destruction mechanics I can do here. Yeah, Marauder Horsemen are definitely the best unit right now, though I think a 20 stack, I think like 10 horsemen, 10 skull cannons is probably the best split, because most of the time they're gonna have a lot of infantry, and the skull cannons also kill off stuff like cavalry. Does anyone know what tier skull cannons are though? Where they at? All in the middle, okay. What is MD? That is melee defense. That's this stat right here. They got 633 of it. It is a stat that makes it where it prevents you from getting hit. So the chance you get hit by an attack is, or the chance you hit a unit is your melee attack plus 35 minus their melee defense. Now you may notice that comes out to a negative number, but there is a minimum chance to hit, and I believe that's 8 or 10%. Okay, I gotta be real careful. If I go into this settlement and they block me well enough, we are so dead. It's into a meaty dangler. Crazy? Yeah, nah. We like challenge campaigns.
Greatest warriors.
Skarbrand should be pretty good here. So increase that. Look at that. Okay, Skarbrand is getting some nice impact hits.
Spreading ruin.
And geez, okay, settlements are nasty because I can't really use my units very effectively here. Got some more guys here. I'm hoping I can just capture the points, or maybe all these guys that are alone everywhere I can bully a bit. This guy on a motorbike, I believe he has Gore Feast. That is basically regeneration. And that'll keep him nice and healthy. Skarbrand, you gotta remember, he has a -10 leadership reduction ability around him. Which means everything around Skarbrand basically doesn't have the legendary leadership buff. The legendary difficulty modifier. And that'll help me out a lot. But first things first, we can just escape with these guys. Then I think we have a little kill zone over here. I'd love to turn on skirmish mode for these guys, but I don't think that'll work very well. This is good though. This is a good kill pit. Once you kind of get indestructible heroes, that's when the campaign really gets going, because they can do stuff like this. And if you get a couple abilities on them, you're set for life. A Mortis, yeah. Even like, so if I just get Skarbrand to like a bunch of ward save and put a Mortis engine on them, you can actually just start soloing armies with them. But I don't know if I have an item. Does Khorne have a Mortis item? That I don't know. Alright, I'm just gonna rampage them so they don't chase down my horsemen. And then if I can get Skarbrand to get a 6 charge here, that could potentially end this right here, right now. Let's take a look. Pretty weak sauce charge. Didn't have a lot of momentum going. Dude, that leadership debuff though is working some magic. -10 leadership is insane. Why do they keep shooting my dude though? I swear the Axors are trying to get this guy killed. They keep targeting his face. The one time I do not want them to be shooting so easily, though I will say line of sight has been pretty good so far with these Axors. Did CA like fix line of sight without me looking? Because you know what, if if that was the case, it would be super worth. Dang, look at Skarbrand terror routing. And very nice. Got a little bit of a route over there. Scylla has a Mortis. Ooh, okay, that's good. So I just got to get Scylla and Fingrim from somewhere. Axors have definitely taken out more than 50% of his HP. Yeah. Whoa, that's a call. Okay, 1 second, guys. All right, we're back. That was Ent Mother. That was Mother Ent. I'll have to call her back when when I am done the stream. Okay, I'm gonna turn off Fire at Will on these guys because they are actually killing Skarbrand and my motorbike guy. It's very much not appreciated. Karnak, yeah, Karnak has a silence, not a Mortis, at least in base game. All right, back to the game. Where are we at? Alliance with vampire counts. No alliances, because then otherwise I just have a million melee defense units. Okay, I'm just gonna manually target with the horsemen to avoid the friendly fire. Oh jeez, the jank. The jank. Okay, let's pull him over here. Ah, settlement battles. As long as you don't get one like super nasty volley on my single entities, I'm fine. Does Skarbrand have Gore Feast yet? Not quite. What are they doing? What is this? Okay, they're actually just targeting this guy. What the crap is happening? Did you see that? Wait. There's no way. There's no way that's actually bugged. That's just a coincidence, right? Okay, yeah. Okay. They just happened to be shooting exactly where the poor guy was moving. What are they doing, man? These horsemen. This ain't a Skaven campaign. Alright. Horsemen kind of jank, but we'll make do. Skarbrand can still use his leadership debuff to wreck these guys. But yeah, Sila's Mortis engine effect is not the worst. It's not the best, but it definitely gets the job done. At least once I can get the abilities stacked up. Khorne does not care from where the blood flows. Is there any faction that genuinely has no instances where they friendly fire in lore? Who is the best faction to avoid that business? Okay, this guy's healing up enough. He's gonna chill while Skarbrand runs to safety. Apparently my axe throwers just have no line of sight issues for the first time ever. A Mortis is a Mortis. Sila's Mortis actually does less damage than other Mortises too, you have to remember. So, it's pretty weak sauce. Oh my gosh, am I actually not gonna get the settlement? Surely we're gonna get the settlement, right? Skaven. Let's see here. I think, is it High Elves? Do High Elves have the lowest rate of friendly fire in lore? Have the High Elves ever fought each other? I guess if you count the early Dark Elves as High Elves, kind of. But generally speaking, no? Okay, this settlement is the worst. Is the worst thing I have come across yet. Yeah, Empire have a lot of infighting in lore. Obviously in campaign, there's a lot of friendly fire that you just can't avoid. Weirdly enough, in campaign, Khorne would be one of the least friendly fire factions because they don't have a lot of ranged. So would be Slaanesh. But we're talking lore here for those reasons. Oh boy, the jank. The jank, bro. I just can't get through. I just can't get through, bro. Alright, we're dipping. I'm getting out of here. I think if I pull these guys back so they can get one volley off, that'll be enough to rout them. These guys don't look like they'll be able to capture the point anytime soon. So what we're going to do is, because I've kind of worn down their army enough, we're just going to go and capture all the points. Ah, crap. There's this wall here. There's a barricade. Can I shoot the barricade? It's only 6,000 HP. Realistically, that's not very much. And then I can kind of just get in here. Weird thing about this, by the way. Capture weight is different. Yeah, single entities have much higher capture weight in campaign than they do in domination. So you actually want a bunch of single entities. What do we got? Just a unit of infantry on this point. That's not too bad though. And then maybe I can use Skarbrand to kick down this wall. Cathay strikes you as a faction with very little friendly fire. Don't they have like a lot of They're not as unified, right? As you'd think. Because they have those Cathay vampires, the Jade vampires. Is that really friendly fire, though? It's true, though. Vibe-wise, Cathay's pretty chill. Alright, and back we go. Hopefully Skarbrand does not die to these little missiles. I thought the range was reduced on this. Is the tower vision just removing stock? Because if it does kill Skarbrand, that would be disastrous. How about this? They have retaken a point, but they won't be able to get turrets back there. So that ain't too bad. And if we can just get the wall down and I get the middle point, life will be a lot easier in terms of just outmaneuvering these guys. So this is genuinely kind of a sketchy battle. I might even just straight up lose this campaign because I don't have a main settlement. You gotta remember. I kind of goofed and I spent my skulls when I should not have. But we'll see. Ooh, lizardmen. Yeah, lizardmen don't infight unless they're feral, right? I think there was one island with some feral lizardmen. But yeah. They're like genetically manufactured to not infight, yeah? Sounds about right to me. We might have a winner. There we go, finally. Alright. Okay. These guys are almost out of ammunition. So I think if I bring in the motorbike with its healing effect, that should be enough. As long as I don't accidentally friendly fire. And then preferably they will get army lost somewhere along the way. There's only a few units left, and we're knocking them down the hill. Maybe if I can just disrupt these guys and Skarbrand can also get in on the action. He does have that leadership reduction, and he gets the terror out. Hell yeah. Let's get in over there. Fun fact, melee defense does still stay active while units are routing. Something that'll make them quite annoying to deal with. Sometimes a unit can be running for their lives and you just can't kill them. A little awkward. I think the tower's cooking the marauders. Yeah, there were a couple towers ruining me. It's okay though, now that we've actually captured the points, they don't have any more towers. Skarbrand's looking pretty okay, 25 leadership, more than trolls do on legendary. Okay. Yeah, and then I just gotta sneak my way past these guys. Oh, geez, Skarbrand. Never mind, not that much leadership it turns out. Jeez, what are these archers doing, bro? These archers are actually indestructible. We might actually just lose this battle. If we do, I will need to probably play a lot more defensively with my horsemen and just get like 2 stacks going. And just invite enemies to attack into me. Because this challenge is kind of crazy. I always thought melee defense was not a very useful stat. You know, practically speaking, melee defense isn't the best because charge bonus exists. But when it is so high that it negates charge bonus, it actually is one of the best stats in the game, it turns out. It's genuinely kind of good. There we go. Hopefully I can just Route these fools. Hey, wow, it actually worked. You kidding me? They routed at like full leadership. Chumps, all of them. Okay, can I actually get a settlement though after this? Dude, that's actually a crazy route. What happened? Are they exhausted? I guess so. Lord fled recently. Oh, I think I accidentally attacked them at like a perfect timing. Where their lord ran off the battlefield. Right. So last place is here. They have an arrow tower. But I have almost all the capture points. So technically, if I just steal the point, we can win the game here. They rallied. What the crap? Okay. What if I just steal the point? Screw it. Oh my goodness. Can't believe it. They came back. Oh man, my Marauder Horsemen. They have no balance of power because of... They have no balance of power because they are low on ammo. Game's kind of weird that way, but... Yeah, when you're low on ammunition, that's what happens. Here's the thing though, if I capture this point, it don't matter. And we are gonna capture it. Whatever. Victory is ours. I have the whole settlement. Flee in terror. Oh, jeez, jank. Alright, well, that was difficult. Fun, though. I think this challenge has a lot going for it. I think the early game's a little weird. It doesn't feel like there's a lot of things that I can do to have fun. But, I think it's a good one that I might tackle at another day. I would especially like to see how the late game goes. Where I can get like hero doom stacks going. Because those might actually crush it. But overall, yeah. Generally a pretty good time. I don't think I can settle the settlement though. Let me just quickly see. Yeah, I can't occupy it. So I'm actually just dead. And technically I can chill here. Alright. No, I can't occupy it. Yeah, I'm like effectively dead here. My army can't do anything. But yeah, I will explore more. Maybe we'll even play Arbol. I think Arbol might be real interesting, but for now, it's just going to be a short stream. Solid 2-hour, 30-minute stream. We will be back tomorrow for some tournament action. I want to get back onto a regular streaming schedule because we've been off our schedule for like months now. So look forward to that. Yeah, Arbol starts near Kislev. Kislev can't be that bad, right? Well, I think I would go north with Arbol because Marauder Horsemen are better versus Chaos. But yeah, we'll see. For now, though, peace out. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye-bye.